Spot on or spot off?
I'm spot on. That was the 54 doing 54 things.
What did he do?
Spot off for what he did. That wasn't no wheel hop. That was a fake. That was one of the many fake wheel hop scenarios I saw this weekend.
Okay, all right.
So,
jeez,
I'm spot on with your tweet. I thought that was completely unnecessary. Like,
it was.
Should have just raced it out. And
they could have. I mean,
Yeah,
they were racing
yeah.
before that. I just don't think it had to.
didn't need to get
Be
that
that
close
way.
for that to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I can't be spot on or spot off because I didn't see it, not even the highlights. But I will tell you from my new position, if you are a driver who runs into the back of another driver, you are at fault. That's the bottom
Well,
line,
they
right?
do
That's
that
the
with
bottom line.
real cars and
it's
insurance,
called,
right?
It's called avoidable contact.
Yeah.
And so it
hey,
sounds
look at
like
Majeski. He was a perfect example on Friday. That some should have hit 5 trucks and 6 walls, and he saved it. He did everything he possibly could, not only not to run into the wall, but to not run into any truck that he met. You know, he decided at the end when he got completely sideways, he made a mistake, and he cleared it. Man, time again. He should be an example on the board. Mm-hmm. Of talk, and he's the guy that takes the rookies around. Yeah. By the way, but
he could be a steward. Like, hey, look, that's unacceptable. Yeah. You know, you get a stop and go, or you get a time penalty, or you're out for a week.
Yeah.
You know, they're on the lower series. You know the truck, O'Reilly. I almost said Bush.
Yeah.
You know, that will help those guys be prepared to get the cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like they did it for a little while, maybe a year or two ago, where like they held people for a lap or two occasionally for some of these incidents, and then kind of stopped. So I don't know like what the mindset was.
Well,
there.
I mean, the mindset is from how they were brought up and how they're racing, right? And the legend cars, and you know how they do those. Again, don't get me started on that, but
we saved that for the last topic. I'm sure you'll have a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot to say on that one.
All right, go ahead.
No, you go ahead with what you're saying. Now I'm saying save what you were going to say about don't get me started on like kids
That's
being
what I'm saying.
disrespectful.
I'm going to save it. So ask the next question.
Oh, so we're done on that one. We're moving right along.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put 5 at 4 because Tommy's ready to get going on this one. After the truck race, Jimmy Johnson discusses respect between the drivers and says, quote, that is completely out the window, and he feels torn as both an owner and a driver. And Ray, I know you touched on this earlier.
Yeah. And when you've got a 7-time champion, one of the most respected drivers, you know, in the history of our sport, and still very well respected, it goes back to, you know, I keep saying this, stewarding, and whether that's 2 or 3 drivers that, like they do in IndyCar with Max Pappas and Arie Luyendyk, if there's contact or if there's, you know, an unavoidable contact, they make a decision and someone's penalized or they're called to the hauler, if you will, for a conversation with these guys. And, you know, through all of the Indy Next and things like that, it prepares guys. And it happens weekly. You know, obviously there's going to be a conversation with Power and Ray Hall, right? You know, but
Power? No way. He's involved in something?
I love Will, but he's had a tough year. You know, I just feel like that keeps things in order, and it's a panel of people, and they go and talk about it themselves, and there are some set boundaries, and if you cross those boundaries, it's no different than having a technical infraction with the car. So I think it's very important to have some kind of sporting control, especially in the feeder series.
I agree 100%. It should start when they first start racing. It should be taught right away on doing things, and I do believe that it starts from the beginning. It starts from the legend car racing, how they do that, and how they race and how they wreck, you know, each other going into corners and rub it on things. And hey, the Cars Tour is tough too. Right?
It is.
I mean, and the level of competition.
We constantly talk about we always are saying, you know, it's a constant fine line of like saving them from themselves sometimes. You know, you don't want to over officiate it to where you're having, you know, robotic races and things are boring and everyone's afraid to make a move or do something, but you also don't want to, it's just a fine line. And I'm sure you understand that it's hard to walk and it's hard to balance what's entertaining level of racing versus, okay, you've taken it too far, and having somebody to say that and lay the law down.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, but hopefully Jimmy, at his status, it will resonate, right? Well, maybe not. He's old. You know, what does he know? But
it probably goes to show why they tore up so much in the truck race compared to everything else too. I mean, he was out there seeing it.
I hope that people listen, and I also hope that Jimmy comes back.
I want to see him in a truck more. That was entertaining.
Because